Toxic Lyrikali is one of the rising stars of Kenya's new generation hip-hop scene. The Nairobi rapper has gained attention for his Sheng-heavy lyrics, energetic delivery, and a sound influenced by hip-hop, trap, and dancehall. Coming from Kayole in Nairobi's Eastlands, Toxic has built his identity around the culture, language, and experiences of his environment. His journey represents the changing nature of Kenya's music industry, where artists can build large audiences through streaming platforms, social media, and digital communities. His major breakthrough came in 2025, when songs such as Chinje and Backbencher attracted widespread attention. Spotify's 2025 data identified him as Kenya's most discovered artist of the year, while his music appeared among the country's most streamed local songs. By 2026, Toxic had continued to build momentum through new music, collaborations, and recognition as one of the country's artists to watch. Early life and Kayole roots. Toxic Lyrikali was born and raised in Kayole, one of Nairobi's Eastlands neighborhoods. His background has played an important role in shaping his artistic identity. Rather than separating himself from his roots, Toxic has embraced Kayole and made the neighborhood an important part of his story. Eastlands has a strong tradition of urban music, with hip-hop, dancehall, and street culture influencing generations of young people. While growing up, Toxic listened to Jamaican dancehall artists, including Vybz Kartel, Tommy Lee Sparta, Popcaan, and Mboka Doba. Their influence later became noticeable in his own music. However, Toxic combined those international influences with Kenyan experiences, creating a sound that feels distinctly connected to Nairobi. Discovering music. Toxic's interest in music began before he became widely known. He initially worked on music with a friend, and the project eventually developed into a four-person group. After about a year, however, the group separated. Instead of giving up, Toxic decided to continue pursuing music as a solo artist. This became an important turning point because it allowed him to experiment with different sounds and develop his own identity. His early journey also helped him discover the importance of storytelling and authenticity, two characteristics that would later become central to his music. Beginning his music career, Toxic's professional music journey developed gradually. One of his early recognized releases was Long Story, released in 2022. The song introduced listeners to his storytelling approach and helped establish his presence in Kenya's emerging hip-hop scene. Rather than concentrating only on conventional commercial themes, Toxic used his music to reflect his surroundings and experiences. His use of Sheng also became an important part of his identity. Sheng allows young Kenyans, particularly in Nairobi, to communicate in a way that combines Swahili, English, and other local influences. Toxic's ability to use the language naturally helped make his music relatable to his target audience. Musical style. Toxic Lyrikali is mainly recognized as a hip-hop artist, but his sound incorporates several genres. His music combines rap, trap, and dancehall, while his lyrics often explore ambition, relationships, friendship, personal experiences, and life in Nairobi. His greatest strength is arguably his ability to turn everyday experiences into music. Kayole is not simply the place where Toxic grew up. It has become part of his artistic identity. His music reflects the language and culture of Nairobi's younger generation, helping him build a strong connection with listeners. Mboka Doba. One of the phrases closely associated with Toxic Lyrikali is Mboka Doba. The phrase has become an important part of his brand and the community surrounding his music. His official website features Mboka Doba prominently, demonstrating its importance to his public identity. For fans, the phrase represents the culture and community surrounding Toxic's music. As his popularity has grown, Mboka Doba has become another way for listeners to identify with the movement around the artist. The 2025 breakthrough. The biggest turning point in Toxic Lyrikali's career came in 2025. After several years of developing his craft, he began receiving much wider national attention. Two songs were particularly important during this period: Chinje and Backbencher. The songs helped introduce Toxic to audiences beyond Nairobi's underground hip-hop scene. His growing popularity was confirmed by Spotify's 2025 data, which identified Toxic as Kenya's most discovered artist of the year. His songs also performed strongly among Kenya's local music charts. For an artist whose career was still relatively young, this was a major achievement. Backbencher. Backbencher became one of Toxic's signature songs during his breakthrough. The track connected with young listeners through its energetic sound and themes surrounding youth culture, ambition, and everyday experiences. Its success demonstrated that Toxic could take the energy of Nairobi's street music and transform it into music capable of reaching a mainstream audience. The song helped establish him as one of the emerging voices of Kenya's new hip-hop generation. Chinje. Chinje was another important release during Toxic's rise. The song contributed to his growing popularity on streaming platforms and helped strengthen his position in Kenya's music scene. Together, Chinje and Backbencher became important parts of the soundtrack to Toxic's breakthrough year. Their success showed that his popularity was not limited to social media attention, but was also reflected in music streaming. Spotify recognition. Spotify became one of the clearest indicators of Toxic's rapid growth. In 2025, he was recognized as Kenya's most discovered artist. His appearance among the country's leading local artists was particularly impressive, given the relatively short period he had spent building his mainstream career. Streaming platforms have changed how musicians become successful. Artists no longer need to depend entirely on radio and television. Through platforms such as Spotify, YouTube, and other digital services, emerging musicians can reach listeners directly. Toxic's rise demonstrates how this new system can create opportunities for young artists from local communities. Blankets and wine. Toxic's growing popularity also led to opportunities on major stages. In September 2025, he performed at Blankets and Wine in Nairobi, one of Kenya's well-known music festivals. Performing at a major festival was another important milestone. It showed that Toxic's audience had expanded beyond online listeners and underground music fans. His appearance also placed him alongside established performers and demonstrated his ability to perform for a large live audience. Collaborations. Collaboration has also played an important role in Toxic's development. He has worked with other emerging Kenyan musicians, including Dyana. In 2026, he collaborated with established Kenyan artist Mejja on the song Manifest. The collaboration attracted attention and demonstrated Toxic's growing position within Kenya's music industry. Working with established artists can introduce emerging musicians to new audiences, while also allowing them to experiment with different styles. For Toxic, these collaborations have helped strengthen his reputation as an artist with significant potential. Toxic Lyrikali in 2026. The momentum from 2025 continued into 2026. Spotify included Toxic among its artists to watch, highlighting his growing influence and potential. He continued releasing music and expanding his catalog while working with other artists. His official website has also promoted performances and touring activities, showing that live music remains an important part of his plans. The continued release of new material suggests that his breakthrough was not simply a temporary viral moment. Instead, Toxic is working to build a long-term career. Connection with Gen Z. A major reason behind Toxic's success is his connection with Kenya's younger generation. His use of Sheng makes his music feel natural and conversational. His lyrics often reflect the experiences, ambitions, and culture of young people in Nairobi. His Kayole background also gives him authenticity among listeners who recognize the environment and language represented in his music. The rise of Toxic Lyrikali demonstrates the growing influence of Gen Z audiences on Kenya's entertainment industry. Young listeners increasingly discover music through social media, streaming platforms, and online communities. Toxic has successfully positioned himself within this new digital music culture. Personal life and net worth. Toxic Lyrikali keeps much of his personal life private. Most reliable public information about him focuses on his music rather than his relationships and family. Therefore, claims about his private life should be treated carefully unless confirmed by the artist or reliable sources. There is also no authoritative public figure for his exact net worth. Although his potential sources of income include streaming, live performances, collaborations, digital content, and merchandise, online estimates should not be treated as confirmed financial information. His growing popularity and increasing performances suggest that his commercial opportunities are expanding alongside his music career. Major achievements. Toxic Lyrikali has achieved several important milestones in a relatively short period. Among his major achievements are establishing himself as a rapper from Kayole, releasing Long Story in 2022, developing a distinctive Sheng-heavy sound, combining hip-hop, trap, and dancehall influences, breaking into Kenya's mainstream music conversation in 2025, becoming Kenya's most discovered artist on Spotify in 2025, gaining major attention with Chinje and Backbencher, performing at Blankets and Wine, collaborating with established artists such as Mejja, being recognized as an artist to watch in 2026. Conclusion. Toxic Lyrikali's story is an example of the changing face of Kenyan music. From his roots in Kayole, he developed a musical style influenced by Nairobi street culture, Sheng, hip-hop, trap, and Jamaican dancehall. After experimenting with group music, he chose to pursue a solo career and released Long Story in 2022. His major breakthrough came in 2025 when songs such as Chinje and Backbencher pushed him into the national spotlight. Spotify's data identified him as Kenya's most discovered artist that year, confirming the scale of his growing popularity. His performances, collaborations, and continued releases have strengthened his position in Kenya's new generation hip-hop movement. What makes Toxic particularly interesting is his authenticity. He has embraced the environment that shaped him and transformed his experiences and language into music that connects with young listeners. From Kayole to major stages and streaming charts, Toxic Lyrikali has already achieved remarkable growth. His journey is far from over, but if he continues developing his sound while maintaining the authenticity that made him popular, he could become one of the most influential voices in Kenya's next generation of hip-hop. Toxic Lyrikali is no longer just a rapper from Kayole. He is one of the emerging faces of Kenya's new urban music movement.